It's Wednesday night, and we're live from Oakdale, Washington, in the Educated Touch studio. Welcome to Ethics Outside the Box, with your host, Nathan Nordstrom. Special guests include you. Here he is, Nathan Nordstrom.
Hello, friends. This is a special episode of Ethics Outside of the Box, because this is an Ethics Outside of the Box gone solo. I will be doing this one on my own. It's going to be exciting to kind of get your ear just one-on-one and kind of see what we can talk about. As was noted, usually I'm in the Educated Touch studios. Actually, maybe half the time I'm in the Educated Touch studios. Today I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so I'll be presenting from here today. But I just thought, I introduced a bunch of my guests. Some of you don't know who I am. Most of you probably do, but I'm Nathan Nordstrom. I've been teaching ethics now for 9 or so years. And one of the key things that I love about teaching is getting a person excited about a subject, getting massage therapists to look at themselves and say, wait a second, there's something I can learn at this moment from this person. I love giving that opportunity to people. So a little bit more about myself. I'm a past volunteer for AMTA. I volunteered for AMT, the American Massage Therapy Association, for 15 years, and have got a lot of great experience from them. But I also run, currently I'm the director of Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. I'm the director of massage therapy training. And so that's one of the reasons why I travel around. But I teach continuing education with Educated Touch, going across the country and teaching different classes in different cities, and it's a lot of fun. So it's a little bit more about me. I just recently got elected to the board of directors for the National Certification Board as well. So a couple of weeks I'll be doing a webinar in either on my way to Chicago or from Chicago. So that's a quick heads up. But let's do what we always do here, and we're going to start this out by remembering where we're going to find the Code of Ethics for NCB. If I share this screen, this is going to look familiar, I hope, to most of you. This is the National Certification Board's website. You can tell by their logo up here in the corner. And you would go to ncbtmb.org to get here. As you scroll down, you're going to see things along the left-hand side: board certification, specialty certificates, online practice exams for students. Becoming board certified is an important thing to kind of look at as you're going through the process. To become a highly qualified massage therapist, to be a respected massage therapist. This holds a little bit more clout for when you're looking for referrals and trying to connect. So NCB definitely has some recognition there throughout the country. The About section is where we usually go from here, and you're going to see about the NCB, about volunteers, about bylaws, certification board itself, senior staff. You know what? I don't think I've hit that certification board button. So let's see what it says on there. Oh, there's Teresa Matthews and Kia. Oh, and there I am, the one of the new guys, Grant and Portia. So this is our new board for the National Certification Board. Let's go back to where we were going. Got off topic there for a second. All right, so if we scroll on down, we're going to see this is the Code of Ethics. We've gone 1 through 10 on the Code of Ethics, and so number 11 is actually one of our short ones, but I think there's a lot to this code here. kind of the important things. So respect number 11 is respect the client's right to refuse, modify, or terminate treatment regardless of prior consent given. So this is a category that I like to kind of refer back to. Once again, we're going to go back to all service industry. We're going to say, okay, so if you go to a restaurant and you decide, hey, you know what, I want the guacamole on my burrito, and they hand out the guacamole, and the guacamole is brown and has flies sitting in it, you're not forced to eat it. You can say, no thank you, this is not right, I don't want to take that. And the restaurant will take it back for good customer service. Now, if we go into the massage therapy industry, you have a little different perspective here. When we're talking about how we deal with a client, first thing we need to do is get the treatment plan consultation approved. So, easy intake interview. How are you doing today? Glad to have you here. What are we focusing on today? Or specifically, if you've already gone over their health history, I'm noticing that you asked for treatment on this, this, and this. Is that correct? Perfect. You're now getting consent to treat those areas only. So usually the standard statement is not, hey, can I have consent to treat? It's, would you like me to work on those areas and include a full body massage, or would you like me just to focus on those areas? That gives us a little bit more possibility to understand what their limitations are, what their expectations are, and what we should be looking at for that client for their best treatment. If you don't know what a massage therapist or what a massage client wants, now you're kind of getting some limitation into the concept of what you can and cannot do. Hey Jennifer, it's good to see you. And Stacy. Yeah, I just got my phone up so I can see what's cooking and what's going on. Jennifer, hi. So yeah, we are connecting to this aspect of really, when do we have consent and when do we need consent? Anytime we're talking to a client, anytime we're working on a client, we need consent. We need their consent to work on them. If we go from that next step, what is the next piece? Well, now we're starting to look at keeping consent. Keeping the consent of our clients is the important piece, because at any time, if they say, no, I want to stop, we have to stop because we don't know why. And we can connect with them in so many different ways if we stop and ask clarifying questions. Many years ago, I was an expert witness for a case about a massage therapist who inappropriately touched his client. When she told him to stop, his response was, oh, I'm sorry. And he moved down her leg and was working on her thigh. And then he continued to proceed back up and touch her inappropriately. That is not the act of receiving and keeping consent. That's the act of fear. That's the act of presenting yourself in different ways, and the act of being inappropriate. And really the statement of, oh, I'm sorry, and then going back and doing it again, sadly scares me, because you're consenting that you're not doing something, you did something wrong, but then you go right back to doing that same wrong thing. So that doesn't help. That doesn't work. our profession doesn't quite give us that much leeway, and it shouldn't. Our clients are expecting something very specific from us as massage therapists. As massage therapists, we go through this concept of what massage therapy is. We go through this concept of how to be high quality and how to treat conditions that are dysfunctional. Do we know what we're doing? That's a good question. When I look at a massage therapist who just comes out of massage school, I don't know if I feel comfortable saying they know exactly what they're doing. Do you? I watching my feed here. So if you think that massage students who are coming out of massage therapy school know what they're doing for every part of every session, let me know. This is one of those questions that is hard to say, but I think teachers are trying to get them to know what they're doing. I think massage therapists, instructors are trying to give them the treatment plans and the assessment skills so that they can be successful. If they're not successful, then we start looking at serious challenges that develop along this whole plan of when we can be successful. Depends on their previous experience. Yeah, so if they're new, Stacy, you're right. It does depend on their previous experience. And I'm going to decline my dear friend who's calling me. Sorry about that. Their previous experience is really important to really give them success. As a massage therapist, I think we all got this in massage school, that statement of a massage therapist doesn't know what they're doing until they have 1,000 client hours under their belt. Well, I don't know if they don't know what they're doing. I think they're getting better at it. And by the time you've had 1,000 clients, you have that possibility of really understanding your skill a lot more because you have a larger variety of clients, a larger variety of people that you're working on. So being able to really connect in those ways to say a client needs to have a therapist who's seen 1,000 people, well, that's going to be a problem. A client needs to have a therapist who is striving to do the best that they can. So getting and maintaining that whole aspect of treatment for our clients. So obtaining consent, requesting the client, hold on, I'm on the wrong one. Respect the clients to refuse. So have you ever had a client refuse treatment? That's my next question to you. If you have, let me know. I've had a couple of clients who have, for many different reasons. But when we look at refusal of treatment, sometimes that can look at refusal of a specific type of treatment. So refusal of treatment on a specific area. That would be localized refusal. That would be refusal of a specific therapy or style of treatment. So if they don't like myofascial release, or they don't like energy work, or they don't like deep tissue, they can refuse that. Are you trained enough to have that skill to know how to work with that local treatment, work with that portion of the body or that specific condition, so that they can be successful as practitioners? They can be successful as clients. You can be successful as a practitioner. All right. Even with 1,000 clients, you learn from every massage, and you never know what will come with your next massage. Oh, so true. Thank you, Stacy. Yeah, you don't know what's going to come next. I I regularly get clients who come in with a new diagnosed condition that I don't understand, that I've never heard of. And so I have to talk to them about what it is they have and what I can do to best treat them. Because we want to give them the best service, sometimes we really just have to step back, say, hey, let me do a little research on this, and then I'll come back in and we'll be ready to go. Also using using that client for their best interest, to know, because they know what they have and they know a little bit more about it than you do, hopefully. Actually, I've had clients who didn't know anything about their condition. They were just taking the medication their doctor gave them. So it can be dangerous if you don't have enough information to really clarify yourself. So there is that ability to refuse or to stop. There's also the ability to modify treatment. So modified doesn't always, to me, modified doesn't say at the very beginning you're going to change what it is you're doing. That is true. But it also is throughout the entire session. Have you ever had a session that you had to modify for a specific client? I've had amputees where you don't get to work both sides equally with time. So you have to deal with that. You have specific people with either a broken limb or other challenges. Those challenges aren't impossible to deal with. Those challenges are just that, they're challenges. A new opportunity for you to look at the body in a different way. One of the classes I teach across the country is one called Body Worlds and Massage Therapy. And in Body Worlds and Massage Therapy, we go through these anatomical displays of the human body that have been plastinated and are displayed without skin. And so being able to go out to these events and be able to look at different bodies in different states and different conditions, you then get a better opportunity to see what it is that you need to do to refine your treatment so that you can give them the best skills. However, you don't know everything. Sorry to say it. Add a little humility to this pie, but we don't know everything. We know that we know what we know, but we don't know what we don't know. If that makes any sense. I think my mother told me that years ago. We know what we know, but we don't know what we don't know. So if we really come down to the concept of working with this client, they're inside their body. They're experiencing the massage. No matter how much I want to give myself a massage and know what my massage feels like, I don't have that same ability to lay myself on a table and massage. So we have to work with the client. This is two people working together for the stress reduction of that person. However, I truly believe that by the end of a massage, I am more relaxed than I was before the session when I give the massage. I've heard rumor of some research that goes about that. Years ago, I had a group of massage therapists that we did our impromptu research. We didn't really have anything specific or anything really strong to use, but this one piece was really exciting for us. Well, I got talked into skydiving with a bunch of my friends. Colette Wilson, thank you, and David Otto, thank you. They actually pushed me, not really out of the plane, but they pushed me to get into the plane. As a child, I had a pretty significant fear of heights. That fear of heights kept me from doing a lot of things. And when I was asked to do this, I really didn't want to, and I was going to support them in doing it, but not do it myself. As things came closer, we got closer and closer, and I finally said, yes, I would. That's all the setup for the research, because what ended up happening is we came and we realized we got there really early in the morning, and we pretty much got in line in our order of when we were going to be jumping out of the plane. We had to be there several hours ahead of time. And so we went out and we were sitting there watching other people get into a plane, fly up, jump out of the plane, and land. And then the plane would land again, and they'd pick up more people and bring them up. And this happened. Felt like forever. It was probably only an hour or 2 hours, may have been more. But I could feel my heartbeat starting to race every time that plane would take off. I don't remember whose idea it was. It may have been David Otto, may have been Colette. I really don't remember. But someone said, hey, let's do some research. Let's have half of us give massage, the other half receive massage every hour, every half hour, something of that nature. And we'll see what our pulse is. And so we started, and everybody took their pulse, and then they wrote it down. Then we gave 15-minute, 20-minute massage. Everybody took our pulse, and we wrote it down. We had one person who didn't get or receive massage as well. And so we had all three kind of groups figured out. And we noticed that the people who gave the massage, the people who received the massage, both had their heart rates go down. Now, the person who sat there and meditated also had his go down as well. But I don't think that's the same as in other professions. I think the giver and the receiver don't exactly reflect each other perfectly. If you are going into a session and you have a massage client who's there, and they're exciting and they're connecting and they're happy and they're enjoying their session, gosh, you feel like you're actually giving a really good session. However, if you aren't excited, you're not receiving, they're complaining, they're asking for something that you're not supposed to give, they're asking you to do deep tissue, or they're asking you, and they're not supposed to receive it, they're asking you for chiropractic adjustments, that isn't relaxing to them, but it's also not relaxing to you. Now, you can humble yourself, you can focus yourself, you can connect yourself, but you can also modify treatment with a smile and be able to give them a much better experience. So, let's do this again. Respect the client's right to refuse. We got that. Modify. And then the third one is terminate treatment. So, when do we need to terminate treatment? I say, according to this, anytime the client asks, the session's over, it's over, and you walk out. What about B? When you notice something that is contraindicated to the session. So if they have a condition that they did not disclose, it's time to end the session. If they ask for something illegal or inappropriate, you can end the session. I've been talking to a lot of my colleagues who are female massage therapists, and seeing different notes and different comments that they are making either on Facebook or other places. And they're seeing that a male client who is requesting a prostitute instead of a massage therapist is becoming bold and is expressing what they want, but without saying it, until they really get a reaction out of the therapist. And I think that's a part of, for them, the chase concept, that they're trying to get your goat or see if you actually will do it. A therapist can stop the session at any time too. Absolutely. for any reason. Thank you, Stacy. Your session is yours because you're controlling the environment, you're controlling the treatment. Their session is theirs, and they can also end it. You two work together in this. So yeah, thank you. That it's there, and it's important to really connect that you don't have to be uncomfortable. You don't have to feel like you're pressured into anything. If you have a client who is, I guess the easiest way of saying this, a client who is really testing your moral boundaries or your ethical boundaries, that's a perfect time to say, no, this session's over. That's it, done. Ethics over, session's over, because you don't deserve to have your ethics questioned on every front. If someone's saying, oh, come on, just do it this once, you're already being pushed too far. Most people who are looking for that kind of massage usually know where to find that. Clients will test you, like you said. Yeah, they do know where to find it. Sadly, I guess hopefully, gratefully, because we're not the place to find it. And so for that exploitation of our profession, it becomes really problematic. So when we say respect the client's right to refuse, modify, and terminate treatment, regardless of prior consent given. I've heard of massage therapists who talk about, well, you told me I could do deep tissue, so I'm going to do deep tissue. There's another example here. A massage client does become inappropriate on the table. And massage therapists, I have some friends who will say they're just asking for deep tissue at that point, and I'm going to really hurt them up. That's not therapeutic, and that's not beneficial. Well, maybe therapeutically beneficial, like a boxing match, or like a bag, a punching bag, but that's not going to be beneficial to them. So instead of that, just asking and closing the session, because that's pretty much what they're saying. They're saying, what you're giving me isn't what I'm looking for. That's kind of one of those pieces where we can say, you know what, you can be safe and you can be secure at any time. Clients need to be safe, clients need to be secure, and you need to give them that right. There's a term out there called empowerment, and it seems like a silly no-brainer, but client empowerment is one of those things that I don't think our profession teaches very well. I think client empowerment is this power to remind the client, this is this relationship where we're working together, and I'm here to help you, and if you want anything changed at any point, let me know and we can change that. You're empowering them to remind them that it is their body and they need to relax into this as well. I had a sweet old lady who, when I gave her the massage therapist standard statement of undress to your level of comfort and we'll have you lie face down on the table, she looked at me and said, okay. And so I stepped out and she put on her coat and got underneath the sheet. Okay. So I did that massage. I massaged her, and by the end of the session, she said, gosh, that probably would have felt better if I didn't have my coat on. I said, well, probably would have, but we can work on that next time. But I gave her that open-ended invitation to make sure she felt safe. So how do we make sure she feels safe? Giving her that opportunity. You know, the next time I saw her, she didn't have a coat on. I think she even took off her shirt and left on her bra and her pants, but she even took off her shoes. So this gave her an opportunity to recognize that she felt safe with me enough to undress to a more comfortable level. She knew that I would only undrape what I was working on, that I was never going to undrape anything with which made her feel uncomfortable. And that's another statement we can say, is undress to your level of comfort. You don't have to have any worry. I'm only going to be draping or taking out from underneath the sheet the areas that I'll be working on, which include the fill in the blank, whatever the treatment protocol you have. If it's the back, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the legs, and the feet, then say that. People will say, oh, okay, well, maybe I feel comfortable wearing shorts. Perfect. Then you feel comfortable wearing shorts or a sports bra or whatever that outfit is for choice. Most therapists, if asked, will say they want their client comfortable more than they want them naked. There's this eluding factor that sometimes pops up that massage therapists want their client disrobed and naked. I don't know, do you feel that way? Do you feel like it's more important that your client is naked instead of that they're comfortable? I hope not. I hope that we're constantly getting to that point where we're sticking with comfort. We're sticking with making sure that that client's connected, that client is feeling safe in that environment. Because if they aren't, it's going to be hard for them to relax. I can refer back to another client that I had he was a military individual who was, as I say, stiff as a board. It didn't feel like he had let go or put himself down at all physically to lay against the board. It almost felt like a board on top of a board. And so looking at him laying on the table, trying to get him to relax was really difficult. So I did a couple of things, and sometimes they're considered sneaky, but sometimes they're actually considered beneficial, depending on your perspective, I guess. So the first one was I asked him about his job, because a lot of times what ends up happening is the person then starts talking and relaxing into their physical surroundings because they're recognizing that, they're engaging that, and they feel comfortable and safe. However, that's not what happened with this client. Sadly, this client didn't start feeling comfortable and safe. This client actually got a little bit more tense. So I went the other direction. Instead of pulling the concept of making them talk about work, I asked him about his home life. Now, this is a gray boundary. This is one of those ethical boundaries that becomes a real challenge. If you're asking someone about their home life, you're asking them about their personal life. You're asking to engage in conversation that either a client may not feel comfortable with, or that they may have personal problems, challenges, connections with that you may not want to be engaged in. I guess I was lucky in this case. He started talking about his kids and his wife. And literally when I asked, he went, yeah, no, my family's great. I'm very happy. This, that, and the other. And it's not that he physically changed his position, but I felt the resistance change. Now there's another technique that can be problematic, can be assessed, and can be thought of. And that is called building relationships of trust, or building on common ground. So if you have a client and you've asked about their home life, by sharing a little bit of your own home life, you're now engaging in a process that can get problematic. Instead of being therapist and patient, you're actually becoming friends. This is an argument throughout massage therapy that is always going to be there. Sadly and gratefully, and sadly and gratefully. But friends are where you start creating a dual relationship. I have a lot of clients who know about my family, know that I have 4 kids, know that I have 2 dogs and 3 cats. A lot of clients who know my wife's name. And not because they knew her from outside the treatment room, but because when we're talking, if there's a scenario, oh, hey, I was out at here or out there with my wife. And so generally I'll say my wife, Elena. Simplify communication and really connect with people, and really connect with an aspect of what people generally want to know someone's name. It really simplifies communication. So it's a challenge to connect that way. It's a challenge to progress and connect with your clients without actually having an interpersonal connection, or else you'll start feeling like a robot. And one of the challenges with robotic therapy, robotic massage therapy, where it's just, hey, here's what's going on, here's what's happening, here's what I'm going to do, and here's why. And now I'm just going to go through the pattern. Especially since we are used to robots, we may not consciously be as used to robots as we thought we would be in the 21st century. But when I pick up the phone and I call a company, it's a robot that answers first. And if I don't know how to express myself effectively so that the robot can get me to the right place, my standard answer is operator. Because I want to get a person to communicate with to really get that across. The words a therapist uses are very important. Thank you very much. So true, Stacy. I tell people I want you to feel comfortable on the table. If you are wearing a bra, please remove. If you are wearing underpants, you can leave them on. Wonderful. That's a very good blanket statement to kind of connect there. If you're wearing underwear, you can leave them on or take them off. You will be covered by the sheets and blankets except for the area I'm working on. The most important thing is for the client to be comfortable on the table. You are so right. It is also the therapist's job to explain and communicate with the client exactly what they will be experiencing, because every massage is not the same. Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Stacy. No massage is the same, right? I think that's a huge point that I think when someone's coming into massage school, I don't think they usually connect with that. I think most people, when they come into massage school, they think, okay, I'm going to be trained to do a massage. And then they start getting this pattern of every massage is going to be this first, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. It's not, though, is it? It is definitely the massage therapist looking at the assessed condition and changing up to what really needs to be focused on. I also go the other direction, Stacy, and say every massage therapist works on a new easel every time they come in. No body stays exactly the same between sessions. Even if they come in once a week for 6 months, you're working on a changing surface because that client isn't the same person. And so what might be good for them this week may not be good for them next week. What might be good for them right now, or specific areas, aren't going to be good for them next. Also, the gate theory of pain, one of my favorite little subjects to use for a massage client. So that is this concept of you get the most active pain to the mind. There's some things, vibration, temperature, and touch, generalized area, that work on a faster response to kind of block the brain from receiving pain. So the gate theory of pain is a really important one to kind of connect with, but it also means that once that pain is gone and you turn that those pain sensors or tension sensors down, that means other things are acting up. And so you may have your treatment plan all set out and you work on their shoulders and they're like, oh, my shoulders feel great, but man, my feet are starting to hurt. And then you can say, oh, well, I was going to go to your neck and head. Would you like me to continue on to the neck and head or go down to those feet? By creating that treatment plan with them and engaging the treatment plan to what they want, then you're able to really, they may say, oh yeah, go ahead and finish up the neck and head because that just feels great. Or they may say, oh yeah, if you could really work on my feet, that would really help because now we get rid of the pain in the feet. Then they go, oh, okay, now my feet feel better, but gosh, my right knee's got something going on. Or gosh, now I'm noticing I have a headache. Or gosh, what's going on with my elbow? And so sometimes you have to change your treatment plan the entire hour long. But that also means confirming that they want a change treatment plan. They just better schedule another appointment. You're right. You're right. Just making sure that you can get in what needs to be gotten in. And so scheduling your appointment right and working through the areas. Most time when I've got a person with neck or shoulder pain, I'll usually start there and then work through the rest of the area so that then you can go through. I do have clients who want me to chase pain though. So they go to the first pain, they're done, and then we go to the next. And for that session, each time we're going to a new area, we're going back through the health history and asking them what other things have been going on with them. What other parts of their body have traumas? What other injuries have they had that they may not have put down there? Because a lot of times when you're working on an area, a client will go, oh yeah, that's right, I did slip and fall on the ice the other day. You didn't remember that on the health history, but you're remembering it now because that area is being touched. If you start going through and working on different parts of the body, people will generally say, oh, that's right, I have been working out at the gym more. Or, oh yeah, I guess I do have more stress because my daughter is saying this, so or I don't, my kids have all left the house, and so now it's a different type of stress. You know, listening to your clients is number one, because they are the ones who understand the trauma, the turmoil, and the stress that they have. We don't understand that. We don't know exactly what's going on in their life until we ask them and get the right connection. No, I can't say I know everything. I don't ever want to know everything. But I can say that when you're working with a client, you feel really happy and really comfortable when you can help them be the most productive that they can be. I think we can all agree on that. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you have consent to treat constantly throughout your session. It's not just the moment you start, but that you are empowering your clients to tell you this is too much. You're empowering your clients to tell you they want more of this, they want less of that. Those are things that can change the way you feel. Those are things that can change their experience, their clinical experience, from good to best. It can change their experience from telling you what they want to telling you what they wanted. Because at the end of the session, it isn't that you met some of their needs, it's that you met all of their needs for the best treatment, so that they can improve themselves and continue to feel successful and feel like they're doing what's right. I'm so grateful that we had an opportunity to sit down together. Let me get back to that page here real quick, share screen. Once again, so today we're going over the National Certification Board's Code of Ethics. It's about them and not about the therapist. The therapists don't realize this. They really don't, Stacy. There's times when we start looking at the statements that people say, and you start really feeling sad that the therapist felt like they had to be connected. It had to be about them. But you're there to support. You're there to help, and you're there to connect. So we were talking about number 11 today, or XI for those who don't read Roman numerals. Respect the client's right to refuse, modify, or terminate treatment, regardless of prior consent given. One of the statements that is going to come up probably in the notes afterwards would be, what if you have a cancellation policy? Do you ask the client to pay for the session if they refuse you for a justifiable reason? Stacy and anybody else, what do you think? Does this talk specifically about payment or about service? Personally, I think it's about service. Payment is up to your policies, making sure that your policies are written right. If someone wants to do something and wants to listen to you and wants to connect, that's fine. If they're looking at you and saying, you know what, I don't want to receive service today, here's the pay, that's fine. Have a great day, Stacy. You've got a lot of possibilities here, but this is one of those policies that I think is so important and really can make us a much better therapist, much better practitioner, and really kind of organize us as professionals so that we can actually do the best that we can do. I'm hoping that you'll join me next week. Next week we actually have Ryan Hoyme coming and visiting us again. Ryan Hoyme is always a lot of fun. He's got a very unique laugh. If you haven't hung out with Massage Nerd, he's got YouTube videos all over the place, and he's an outstanding individual. But next time we'll be talking about provide draping and treatment in a way that ensures the safety, comfort, and privacy of the client. So draping is going to be a huge piece here. It's going to give us an opportunity to really kind of go in depth about what is safe and what is professional draping. So that's where we've got there. Excuse me. Ryan Hoyme will almost always give us a little bit more more discussion than we had planned for, but it should be very good and exciting. So all that being said, let me quickly do a little moving of my things here, because I have to let you go for the hour today. And I appreciate the time that you spent with me. If if I can be of any help to you in the future, feel free to let me know. You can reach me at nathan@educatedtouch.com, or you can email me, or if you don't want to email me, you can definitely contact me in many other ways, including phone 503-706-2480. And with that being said, have a great evening.
Thank you, Nathan. The hour has flown by. We hope you've enjoyed this discussion with Ethics Outside the Box. As you've seen, Nathan uses many second-hand stories of ethical situations. If you'd like to share your story or you have any questions, feel free to contact him at nathan@educatedtouch.com. If you'd like to register for next week's live webinar, go to shop.educatedtouch.com. Under live webinars, you will see all upcoming webinars. If you have just watched this video and would like continuing education for home study, you can go to shop.educatedtouch.com under the home study options with the date or episode number to receive your exam. If you would please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, we will keep you up to date on new videos. If you'd like to attend one of our live courses, you can find upcoming scheduled events at www.educatedtouch.com. Thank you for joining us today. Be well and have an ethical day.